Hello guys and welcome back. Lazy Gang, yep. So each day we just make the community bigger, bigger and bigger and bigger, which is fascinating to be honest. Yeah. Uh well, we have news, yeah. I told you last week that Mr. Trump wants to put his hand on the Strait of Hormuz and is not gonna leave it. He's not gonna give it back. He's just gonna suck all the money from it, is it? He's gonna be part of the big United States, is it? Yeah. This is what Donald Trump wants. Probably was not in his intentions at the beginning to just have the Strait of Hormuz, but now it feels like more and more that he will do that. Yeah. Now he just seized an Iranian vessel on the blockade. They seized it. Yeah. So yeah, it will go into that direction. Yeah, this is because what other way, what most perfect way to keep the petrodollar up? What is the best way to do it? Control the Strait of Hormuz, and it's not just that you're gonna keep up the petrodollar. Is you're gonna control. You're gonna make money, more money than before. Yeah. So this is what I told you last week, and I believe nobody listened to me. Yeah. Let's go. Let's dig in. Let's see what they want.
From Fox, thank you to my colleague, Bowen Kedrovich, for guiding you throughout the last several hours, bringing you any updates from big breaking news stories that we have been following, but also showcasing those live events. My name is Karla Lahara, and I will do the same. Let's pivot, though,
And my name is Fat Boy Lazy, and I will do the same.
From Pope Leo's visit and his tour across Africa, and touch on one of the biggest stories of the day, and that continues to be possibly some peace talks between the U.S. and Iran happening today.
Well, again, peace talks. Yeah, we know what happened with those peace talks before, in the past, even with the ceasefire. Yeah, United States used that ceasefire to regroup. Yeah, to tell insiders how to do money on oil because of those bids. Yeah, 7th April and 23 March. Yeah, I think 7th April was $950 million bet that the oil is gonna go down, and on 23rd March was the same. Yeah, so these peace talks, we're not going to refer to them as peace talks because they are not peace talks. They are just things for United States to act again. Yeah, last time on the ceasefire they use it to use the blockade, to do the blockade. So not quite really peace talks, is it, if it's just from one side?
Pakistan, though those talks are still up in the air. Bringing us out to a live image that we have at the Strait of Hormuz. This is courtesy of Marine Traffic.
Okay.
The Associated Press saying this: the U.S. attacked and
well, we still have movement. Yeah, all right, okay, most of it on the sides, but we still have movement.
Seized an Iranian-flagged cargo ship it said had tried to evade its naval blockade near the Strait of Hormuz on Monday. It was the first interception since the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports began last.
Well, like I said, I don't think they tried to evade the blockade. They just wanted to do their job. Yeah, let me Pepsi. Just drink some diabetes on can. By the way, they are not the sponsor of this video. Yep. So it's just diabetes on can for the moment. When they were gonna sponsor us, they're not gonna be anymore.
Last week, Iran's Joint Military Command vowed to respond, throwing a fragile ceasefire into question days before it expires this Monday. Also, Iran on Monday offered a new death toll for the war, with its forensic chief saying at least 3,300 people have been killed in the conflict. Now, the figure.
Well, it's obviously, yeah, people will die in the conflict, and this is the most worrying part. Why don't fight with each other? Why just do just the army? That's it. Go on a field. You're in the Middle East. You have loads of field, yeah, empty space. Just go there and fight. Don't do it in cities.
Figure came.
But I think this fight in the city is just on Israel's heart, yeah, because people is dying from other countries, yeah, on Israel's heart.
As the head of Iran's legal medicine organization said only 4 of the dead remain identified. President Trump just yesterday saying that U.S. negotiators will be in Pakistan today for another round of talks with Iran, but Iranian officials.
Yeah, what Trump wants to do next with this, again, another round of talks. Yeah, what he wants to do again, what do you prepare this time, yeah, to keep them off guard?
Officials did not directly respond to his announcement. A 10-day ceasefire in Israel and Lebanon appears to be holding. Those are just some of the major bullet points there happening throughout the Middle East as this conflict continues. Yeah. Some escalation can be seen. I do, though, want to stay focused here on the latest happenings at the Strait of Hormuz, because as we just mentioned, the U.S. did announce that it seized an Iranian-flagged cargo ship that it said had tried to evade its naval blockade near the Strait of Hormuz.
Well, don't just tell me in the comments. I do not understand this naval blockade of United States in the Middle East. I do not quite understand it. I don't. Yeah, so explain it to me, because I'm stupid. Explain it to me in the comments. What they after with this blockade, what they are trying to do with this blockade in the Middle East. I repeat, United States in the Middle East with the blockade.
Taking us out to a social media post courtesy of Rapid Response, but first I want one from Reuters as well. It's one of.
Well, actually, I know the answer. This is false pretense to see if United States can seize the whole Strait of Hormuz. Yeah, if they can seize it all together, just for them, just for other countries when they're gonna do trading back, they will pay to United States, and probably United States will pay about 10% back to other countries.
The news outlets that's covering this very closely, they give a bit of a brief overview as to this entire situation that we're following closely.
Let's see.
I'm going to bring that in just a second. Here it is. The U.S. military saying it fired on an Iranian-flagged cargo ship as the vessel sailed.
Why? Why you fire? Why you want to start again a missile conflict, a battle conflict? Why? Why again?
Toward Iran's Bandar Abbas port. Iran's military said the ship had been traveling from China. A lot to get to this morning, so joining.
Well, if the ship is traveling from China and you just announced it 1-2 days ago, Mr. Trump, that you just been with Mr. Xi Jinping on phone and Mr. Putin on phone, Xi Jinping is not going to be that happy, is it?
Us next to talk about all of these developments is Rocky Weitz. He is a professor of practice of maritime studies at the Fletcher School at Tufts University. Rocky, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning.
It's become kind of a tradition. Every Monday you join us here just to recap everything that's happened over the week. And throughout the weekend, a lot of developments. So let's start with that major one that I just mentioned. So some outlets are reporting that U.S. seizure of the Iranian vessel, it is, quote, a notable escalation. So in your assessment...
It is an escalation. Yes, it is an escalation.
How big of a deal is this latest development when compared to the other things we've seen there in the Strait?
Yeah. All right. Well, good question. So, yeah, it's been a very fluid situation, I would say, over the last 4 days. We saw...
It was fluid. It's not going to be any more fluid. That's the real issue.
Oil prices really plummet on Friday when
Oh, shut up! With the oil prices, United States, you paid $4 and something for a gallon of petrol in the United States. Yeah, us in the rest of the world, yeah, we pay by liter. So 1 liter of petrol at the minute is about, in UK, is about £1.60, which is way too much. It's about $2 1 liter. Yeah, one, not a gallon.
and the Iranian foreign minister came out and said the strait is open, but then the U.S. maintained its blockade, and then the Iranian
Yeah, of course, Iranian people, Iranian government leaders, they said it's open in the United States. No, we're gonna put a blockade there. So if you want to open it, this is I don't understand. Yeah, if you want to open, Iran wants to open it for business. Say no, we're gonna put a blockade on it, said Mr. Trump. And said the same Mr. Trump 1 week ago made an announcement on social media where he was saying to Iran, open the strait, you fucking bastards, or hell is gonna come upon you. Yeah, same Trump 1 week ago said open the fucking strait, and now that Iran opened it, Trump said nah, I'm gonna put a blockade on it.
Iranians came and said, well, then, we're going to continue blocking the strait as well. And what we had here is, so the U.S. has blockaded now. We're entering week 2 of a naval blockade. And a naval blockade is an escalation by itself. It's considered an act of war under international maritime
It is an act of war from the United States.
law. And essentially what we're doing here is enforcing the blockade. Most of the ships that have been faced by the U.S. Navy have turned around or avoided actual confrontation. This ship was different. It was coming in. It had been in China and Malaysia, coming in toward Bandar Abbas, which is a major port in the Strait of Hormuz. And it for 6 hours, the U.S. kept telling it to stop or turn around. And then in the end, they fired 3 shots from their 5-inch gun and took out its propulsion system. And then after that, once it's dead in the water, they boarded a group of Marines, and so now it's under U.S. control. So I do think it would be.
Okay, is under U.S. control. Again, something is in the control of the United States. Again, a new thing, a new asset. All of them, little by little, is going to be in control of the United States. You don't really see where this is going, is it? You don't really see.
Considered an escalation, and as we heard, the Iranians have said they're actually not coming to the negotiations, even though we're still sending our people. I think the negotiations probably will happen, but
it will happen. It will happen. The negotiation. Obviously, nothing good is gonna come out of it. They will just gonna stay like that, the negotiations. But at least he's gonna give a fresh breath to the United States to do another thing or two. Maybe he's gonna think, you know what? If I put the blockade on Strait of Hormuz, probably I will look at that Carg Island.
As I said at the very beginning, it's a very fluid situation, so we'll just have to see.
It remains to be seen indeed. Speaking of, I want to showcase President Trump's social media post regarding that seizure of that vessel. So in case you haven't seen it, here it is. I'm going to read it in full. This was a statement from Sunday. He says, quote, today, an Iranian-flagged cargo ship named Tuska, nearly 900 feet long and weighing almost as much as an aircraft carrier, tried to get past our naval blockade, and it did not go well for them. The U.S. Navy-guided missile destroyer USS Spirance intercepted the Tuska in the Gulf of Oman and gave them fair warning to stop. The Iranian
What means a fair warning to stop?
crew refused to listen, so our neighbor's ship stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in the engine room. Right now, U.S. Marines have custody of the vessel. The Tuska is under U.S. Treasury sanctions because of their prior history of illegal activity.
Well, all of them has legal activity for Mr. Trump. Doesn't matter. Yeah. everybody has illegal activity. Yeah. So right now, U.S. Marine have the custody of the vessel. The Tuska is under U.S. Treasury sanctions because of their prior history of illegal activity. What makes it illegal activity in your own eyes, Mr. Trump? You do not have any law power in the Middle East. You do not make the laws there. Yeah?
We have full custody of the ship and are seeing what's on board. So it pretty much speaks to what you just surmised there, Rocky, within that last answer. And it brings me to this next question. We're seeing here the U.S. is imposing a naval blockade on Iranian ports.
Well, this is just the beginning. It will start with Iran because that's the way to do it. Yeah, they are in conflict with Iran. Yeah, but you're not gonna stop there. Other countries will follow. Of course, obviously not superpower countries, because Donald Trump is not stupid and is not going to risk a conflict with those countries. But lower countries, they don't have that much power. Sorry to say, but you'll have to pay bigger taxes to Trump now.
Iran responding sometimes by restricting or attacking shipping in the Strait. How does maritime law interpret the legality of these operations from each of these sides?
Yeah, very good. So in some ways, the U.S. attack on that Iranian cargo ship was in response to the Iranians attacking some third-party ships.
I don't believe that. I do not believe that as a response. No, it's not as a response.
That were attacked in the Strait so the Iranian actions would not be considered legal under international law because there is a right of transit passage for third parties.
Well, international law, what that says for Mr. Trump? Did he respect those international law when he go to Venezuela? Did he respect them when he throwing threats at Greenland? Not quite.
And the other thing is they didn't announce on the radio turnaround, or there were no radio communication. So they just went and essentially machine gunned the ships.
Well, probably, what if, did you think about it? What if it was broken? What if they don't even speak English? I understand this thing with the language. You still can communicate. Yeah, you have translators, or if you don't have one, you will have all sorts of AI translating in between in real time. Yeah, but here you expect you as a naval blockade, yeah, United States blockade in the Middle East, you expect them to radio announce you, yeah, which you don't have no power. You put it by force, that blockade there, but you don't have no power. As I don't mean firepower, or you don't have any power over the law in there.
And so those ships that did turn around, but that's an escalation there. And then the U.S. complied with international law, which is what we do.
Nah. Yeah, you will say that, but nah.
The U.S. Navy does is that
U.S. doesn't comply with nothing that comes by international. Yeah, national, yeah. International, don't give a fuck.
We announced, I mean, for 6 hours of announcement, this was no surprise coming. They also announced, please remove your crew from the engine room. We're about to fire. They gave plenty of warning for that. So the U.S. did comply with the rules of naval warfare. And because the U.S. has announced a blockade, which you can do when you're in conflict with a nation. Essentially, the argument by the international lawyers that would be representing the Trump administration would be, we're in conflict with Iran. We don't want weapons being sent in, and so.
That's the issue. You don't want any kind of funds or military weapons to go in Iran. I understand now. Yes. Yeah, I understand. No problem. Yes. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. Yeah. You seized it now. You seized it. Alright, guys. I'm gonna see you later because this one was a very short live. I will see you later today. We're gonna do another one. Probably we're gonna react to something else. I don't know to what we're gonna react, but probably something funnier, because I got fed up with United States, with Iran, with Israel, with Trump, with Xi Jinping, with whoever leader is now in Iran, with Netanyahu, with everybody. I a little bit fed up. We're gonna react to something else later. Yeah, so if you didn't if you're new to this channel, please do subscribe. Yeah, please do subscribe. Press the notification bell if you want to listen more of this, or if you want to debate, you're more than welcome in the chat. Yeah, if you want to debate more about this, because everybody needs to be here. Yeah. Alright then, lazy gang, stay lazy, and I'm gonna see you later, guys.